loses to Notre Dame at home, 13-56. An embarrassing loss, in my opinion, the second week in a row on the road at Memphis, being up 18 points and letting Memphis come back, a team that you should have handled. End up losing that one by 1. And then from start to finish, it just didn't seem like Arkansas belonged on the football field. The only kind of sense of, I would say, passion that I saw was when they came out at halftime. You can tell a conversation happened, especially on the defensive side of the ball, overcoming a couple obstacles, getting off the field on a 4th down, and then the wheels just fell off. It's like that was like their last little, okay, let's go. And then once the Notre Dame came back and got another, 3 and out with the offense coming back out there, it was just too much to overturn. But the question is going to be moving forward. I know the emotions for Razorback fans. They are high, Josh. We don't like to dabble into this world much, but I will admit a change has to come. Now, where that change is, I don't know, and it's not my decision to come up with that. I'm not advocating for that. But when you see what happens on the field, you have to say it starts up top.
Yeah, absolutely does. I mean, I think that leadership has got to make a decision on, what's going to change. Is it I'll say it. Is it a defensive coordinator? Is it a head coach? What's going to happen with this situation? I mean, we don't know, but what we do know is that, again, you've come off of the Memphis loss, or you went to the Ole Miss loss. You've had the Memphis loss. Now you've got this at home, not just a loss, a complete disrespect, travesty at home, a game that you can't have coming off of Memphis. I mean, every time you think that this coaching staff is going to turn the tide and get it figured out, and they have what you would think is the weapons to do it. I mean, again, we were down to the wire in Ole Miss, down to the wire with Memphis, 2 top 25 teams. You don't come out here and put a dud on in Fayetteville in that way. And you know what? You know when I started losing hope? First quarter, 4th and 4 on our side of the field. I looked over at the people that were next to me and I said, you don't kick a field goal here if you're a winning team and you have confidence in your offense. Now, you can sit here and say, no, Josh, the field goal is what you should do. Look, I'm watching teams that are confident in scoring and no, listen, we have to build momentum. We have no room to give Notre Dame a chance to start believing in themselves here in Fayetteville, and you kick a field goal. You don't have the confidence that you can go get those 4 yards. Lane Kiffin's going and getting those 4 yards every time on that side of the field.
Well, I think don't matter what the coach is, you just have to be aware of your team. In a game like this, the way we've been struggling defensively, field goals were not going to win this game, especially with what we knew Notre Dame was bringing to the table. Yeah, they had no shot of winning this game. Hey, do you want to hop in here? We got time. Grant Cook's hanging out. Hey, get him a mic and get him set up here in just a second. Come on, Grant. Grant looks mad, man. He looks big mad right now, and I get it. He stayed in there, though, all 4 quarters.
He did.
He's about to punch somebody in the face, all right? We'll get him set up here in just a second, and we're going to watch some tape as well. I think the tape says everything from the very first, I would say, possession on defense all the way towards the very end. Still so many things popped up. I know seems like you want to say something real quick.
Yeah, I was going to say, we talked about, hey, starting fast and playing fast, the offense coming out and getting on the board, the defense needing to be able to come out and stop Notre Dame. Don't just be Swiss cheese in the field. Well, guess what? Exact opposite. We didn't start fast. We end up kicking a field goal. Defense gets on the field and does exactly what we don't need them to do. Starts giving up touchdowns. We talked about hitting some explosive plays. I'll give them some credit. There was a couple moments there on offense where I'm thinking, okay, well, we're getting some momentum going. We're starting to have some big plays, but not enough, especially when Notre Dame's getting on the field and doing whatever they want to do. Rhodes, I talked about we needed Quincy Rhodes to wreck their offense.
Yeah.
Where was he?
I mean, he can't do it by himself. I would love to say he's Myles Garrett out there. He's not.
Our defensive line has got to be able to step up and do something. Phillip Lee came up, I think, with 1 sack on the game, but not near dominant enough what you're going to have to be playing in Notre Dame with 2 backs that are going to be playing on Sundays.
People coming in with comments. Be a part of the comment section. I'll go ahead and bring this up. Appreciate the Super Chat donation. This has to be it. Sam has to be gone. I know that's going to be what a lot of people are saying. And I said, I don't know where it is, but change just have to come. And this is where it gets tough because when it comes to the person, when it comes to the man, we like a lot of these guys, and I think when we get into this industry, I mean, playing college, playing NFL, you're around all these coaches. Players know I'm in the NFL. Yeah. If I'm not performing at a high level,
right,
I will lose my job.
Yeah.
And if people noticeably see me week in and week out, not playing at a high level, and they say they got to get rid of that DJ guy, what am I supposed to do?
You can't do anything.
Yeah. It's just like the only thing I can do is change my performance and bring it up to a higher
Absolutely.
level. So when it comes to coaching, the thing that shows the level that you're performing is the win-loss column, how your team is competing, where's the effort at, all these intangibles that necessarily don't only show up in the win column, it's just the play on the field. And so many times things pop up where it's just something has to change. And like I said, I don't know if it's
Well,
I just don't like trying to fire coaches, but
I get that, but it's year 6, and
yeah.
at the end of the day, just like you said, there has to be accountability for the performance that you put on the field and in your job. Every single person watching this YouTube video has someone that's holding them accountable to performing at their work. This just happens to be football, but this is a job, and you have to perform. Whether it's the offensive coordinator, the defensive coordinator, the head coach, the athletic director, it doesn't matter. You're judged on your performance, and you are in the field that you are in. This is the SEC. I don't want to hear about not being able to raise funds. I don't want to hear about the coaching not being able to get the players to do what they need to do. I don't want to hear about the talent that's on the field because you recruited them. At the end of the day, it is an entire program, and you have to look at it from the top down and say, is this working? And if it's not, then they have to be held accountable for performance. I mean, that's the name of the game, DJ.
Come on, Grant, get in here. He's trying to. This is not like we're like on ESPN Network TV right now. It's just kind of up in here. I don't think the big wigs up top are going to have a problem with us figuring this out. Grant Cook's here with us. You can plop right in the middle here in a second. May have to widen that out a little bit. Perfect. There we go. Grant, you with us, Mike? Uh-oh. Let me get you figured out here in a second. Y'all stand by with me. Go for it. Hold on. Go again. Mike. Oh, Lord. Oh, there he is.
There we are.
There he is. Let me get you all set up.
Woo.
All right, Grant. Looks like you just came from out inside the stadium.
Yeah.
Thoughts on the game?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Competitive a little bit there in the first, but I think after that, it really felt like maybe we let go of the rope a little bit. I mean, we talked about it. You heard me talking about it. Let's go punch him in the mouth. Let's hit, do all these things, and it looks like we received a punch in the mouth.
Right.
And so I hate to see that. And that's not what I want to see from the guys on the field. If you're out there and you're participating in the game, let it all hang out.
Yeah.
Let it all hang out. Don't just receive that and then do nothing about it. And it seemed like we couldn't get going offensively. The defense had more struggles again today. Some of the same old same we've seen there. And we thought, okay, well, the offense is going to have to keep us into the game. But we put enough tape out there now. People know what we want to do.
Yep.
And so that's concerning as we start rolling through the rest of this year. Its schedule is only going to get tougher.
Guys, let's think about this. Notre Dame passing, 431 yards total in passing. Notre Dame rushing, 210 yards rushing. They had the best game of their season coming into the SEC right now. And I don't even have to look at their other games, but I guarantee you that's the best they've ever played.
The question is are they able to put up those type of stats because they're playing us? That's the question.
Right.
And right now, when you look at the defensive side of the ball, I could see why somebody would think that. Now, the thing is, y'all stay with us all week. This is just post game. We haven't had a chance to scour all the tape. All right. So we're going to have all of our breakdowns to give you an honest assessment. I think that is fair. But I do have a couple clips that I want to show you, and it's going to be more so on the defensive side of the ball. I'm sure I'm going to have plenty to pick apart or at least highlight on the offensive side of the ball. But you're going to see a recurring theme that kind of pops up often. I'm going to go ahead and make this full so y'all can see exactly what's going on. So let me go back to the beginning. This is going to be a touchdown. I know a lot of people saw this early in the game, and they're trying to figure out why was this guy so wide open in the middle of the field. So when this play happened, I went back and really watched and tried to break it down, and I found myself in a position where I was like, I honestly don't know what's going on. I had to call Matt Harris. So Matt Harris kind of broke this down. I was trying to figure out who was at fault. You got a single high safety. You see how he's peeking over here at the receiver at the bottom of the screen. And then there's outside leverage by that DB. That's the indicator that this guy's press with safety help over the top. That's why that safety is getting out of the middle of the field. But why is this guy pop wide open? You see this linebacker right here pushing out to the flat. Needs to get there a little faster. But then you got Kenai Walker right here. Matt, like I said, we have to go over the tape, but we're assuming this is going to be his responsibility. And the thing about it is he's looking at it. He's seeing it with his own two eyes, just so slow to reacting, which makes me think something that is not going over from the meeting room to the game field when it comes to making sure he knows what he's supposed to do, and just a completely blown assignment right here. Linebackers could get more depth to try to close that window for sure. But for him to be so late and the hesitation, once again, just lets me know that he doesn't know what is happening out there. We're going to take another look at a sequence coming up. We tried to get the thing rolling. Raylan Sharp gets an interception. They get the ball back with 19 seconds. 19 seconds. All right. Xavier Sorry, it's popping up way too much on tape, my friend. We've already said that he's not hurt. Coach Pittman has came out and said it. If you are hurt, I need you to tell Coach Pittman to stop saying that, because now it leaves it up to us to really dig into the tape. Poor angles all day. When you freeze frame right here, somebody actually sent me this freeze frame. Who in a million years would think this would go for a touchdown? A touchdown. Poor pursuit. I think that's from Justice pursuing from behind, I guess, behind them. And a poor angle by number 7 right here. It's like they don't know how to tackle. That is coachable. That is more than coachable. Let's take a look at another play right here. Our DBs in situations, the thing is, they are in position. These little clips I'm about to show you right now, and this is going to challenge them. I don't know if we have the guys that can athletically get this done. Grant, Josh, we've seen DBs all the time. Look how soon he located this ball. Big-time DBs in conference play, they get their hips around, quick snap, and have a shot to intercept this ball. He's trying to. I just don't think he can. All right, so the receivers are going to see this, and they're going to say, Coach, if he's on me, throw it to me. Another one from Sorry. Just, this isn't the Sorry we've come to know. That's exactly what you want. One-on-one in the hole, not able to wrap up. Hips really aren't coming through like we're used to. Hammer and a nail. He was the hammer so much last year, the nail a lot this year. Another sequence over here. I mean, that's a dangerous throw. And that's a throw that when you make an offensive coordinator hold their breath, they're like, oh. But look at this. Locates it with his eyes. But I don't know if we have the guys that can push down on this fast enough to have a pick 6 to go back the other way. We're right there. We just don't have the guys that can get it done. Now, I will say this was a pretty darn good play design. They had me fooled. It did. But after that happens, you just look at the pursuit. Now we get into another situation. Look at these. Usually on screens, the guys that are most dangerous and have an opportunity to make something happen are the defensive linemen. Now, they recognize it a little too late, but you got to watch out for those guys because they should be coming 100 miles an hour trying to get a play right here. Tell me if this looks like effort. We got my guy Quincy Rhodes and Cam Ball. Just watch those two guys right there as this play pans out. They already gave up on it. Quincy realized it a little too late and was like, uh-oh, I got to get to it. So, once again, these plays, and now I know Cam Ball, I've been on him a lot. The thing is, he has so many snaps, and he is noticeably tired. We just don't have any depth. Yeah. And the thing is, you got guys and you got big bodies on your team. Can a really effective coach at least get them ready to compete somewhat to the point where you don't have to keep one guy on the field the whole time?
Yeah, I mean, and I think, it is coaching, and I think it is also the players. Someone's got to emerge.
Yeah.
Someone has to show that they have the ability to get out there and give him a blow. I get it. I mean, as offensive linemen, we played all 70 snaps, right? Yeah. I mean, if we played 70 snaps on offense, we played all of them. Mm-hmm. Right? We're all 300-plus pounds, the whole thing. I mean, so I don't have as much maybe sympathy for some of those guys. And then somebody's going to say, well, defense does this. And they're like, well, hey, we got graded if we didn't sprint down the field after a play because Ray Dominguez got a fumble. I mean, all these things, that's what we were coached to do.
He recovered my fumble. Yeah. Appreciate that, Ray.
Yeah. Shout out Ray Dominguez.
Yeah, thank you, Ray.
But honestly, we did all of those things. That's what our expectation was, just like they're expected to do. So I hear it that Cam 70, 60, whatever, how many ever plus snaps. I get that, but you got to have effort. And if you can't, then yes, we've got to find a suitable replacement, not replacement, but someone that can come in and give him 10, 15 plays through the game to get a break. But also, this all goes back to last spring, this summer. Why are we not in shape to go play? Practices for us were brutal.
Right. Yeah.
The game, when we got into the game,
the games were easy.
When we score, we don't have to go start all over again and go score again. We can just go to the sideline.
Yeah.
I mean, we would run 15 to 30 plus drives, drives on purpose. Yeah. If we scored on every play, it didn't matter. You ran it back to the top. So what are we doing out there where we're not fresh when we show up on Saturday?
Yeah, I don't know if it's the NIL era and you can't have that type of dynamic with your players in practice anymore.
Trying to hear that.
Mean, I understand that, DJ, but you've already heard people allude to the difference of the relationship and what you have to have. Now, does that translate over to how hard you can push guys in practice before they say, hey, this is crazy, I'm done, I'm not playing here? I don't know. But what I do know is that there is talent on this field.
Yeah.
I don't think it's being coached well. I don't think that it is being, from the top down, the culture is being set. I think that this comes down. I think you give another set of coaches this same team, and you're going to have a different type of play. And I'm more so talking about the defense because I feel like Bobby Petrino, when your defense is Swiss cheese, it puts a lot of pressure on the offense to be able to perform at that level. So I don't want to go as far as putting this on Bobby Petrino's plate right now, but I definitely think that, you know, these coaches, as much as I like them and I personally want to root for them, and I think that's going to be great, but you have to hold them to a sense of accountability and say, hey, this is your defense. It's not playing to the level that you want it to play. Whether you're calling a man, where you're calling man, and you're saying, hey, I need you to just be an athlete.
Yeah.
Okay, that's on the player, right?
Yeah.
That's on the player. But when you're calling zones and your defense doesn't know who the hell they're blocking, who the hell they're covering,
That's coaching.
that's a coaching
Yeah,
issue.
it is.
And we see that too much.
Well, the thing is, I'm going to go back to that play I showed earlier, and Matt brought this up, so I want to give credit to him on this. And sorry, there it is. All right, see, the play I go back to, the first one I showed you, of Kenai Walker, you know, not jumping on this guy that is going to be wide open in the middle of the field, right? In his not in his defense, at the same time, that is an extremely difficult coverage. If you expect him to now cover the entire middle of the field from that position, that's a bad play call. Bad play call. You're not putting him in a situation to be successful. That is, I mean, you would have to be the cream of the crop defensive back in order to make that happen. I think that's where we kind of need to be a little bit better with the awareness of our talent on our team and not put guys in that situation. Once again, big shout out. We got a nice little donnie coming in from Real Val Pal. Yeah, I will say this. I really appreciate the donations that come in. I'm going to start going through some more of these questions here in just a little bit. We got a lot of comments coming in. We're trying to get to as many as possible here in just a second. But I will say this, the best way to support this channel, if you're watching on YouTube, please hit that subscribe button. If not on YouTube, go over to YouTube and hit that sub button as well. That would be very much appreciated so we can keep doing what we have going on for everybody right now. But I'll go ahead and pull the chat up. You see right now, go ahead and get your questions in, and I'll start popping some up. But Grant, you got something?
Yeah, I was just going to say, I think going back to that play that you just had pulled up with Kenai, I get that you've got to be a tremendous athlete to make that happen. But there's also going to be a certain level of anticipation.
You're right.
So when we're watching film, hey, they're in this 2x2 set. They're in the, hey, they like to run this little switch game, whatever. Hey, we're going to run this coverage into it more than likely. So, hey, linebacker's going to have the flat. You got to haul butt to the middle of the field.
Yep.
Some of those things have to be in the conversation. So you're not standing 10 yards deep, flat-footed, waiting to make that break, because all these guys we're about to go play are athletes. If you aren't anticipating, I used to say this all the time, we played offensive line. If I don't know where the defensive lineman's going before the ball snapped, I got zero chance to block him. I got no chance. If I don't know what blitz is coming or have an idea that it could come, I got no chance to pick it up. That's part of it too. I think there's no anticipation out there. Now, sometimes anticipating too much can get you into a bad thing.
But I'm okay with that right now.
I am too. And you know, I know we're talking about, you know, I just maybe contradicted everything I just said, but we're talking about like get a small needle, right? We're threading a small needle right here. And that's what it takes. That's what makes good teams great. And teams that have the ability to do something better, great. They have the ability to thread that needle. And so that's what I want to see from these guys. I mean, and then I also just want to see, I mean, it felt like we maybe let go of the rope a little bit.
Yeah, when you hear let go of the rope, I'm going to go ahead and bring this up right here. And first of all, I'm jealous that you get to mow the yard. I love mowing the yard, all right? But probably not when the Hogs are playing. This is from Joseph. Sorry if I'm getting all up in the screen. I just can't read that from here. He says, I went and mowed the yard today mid-game. Scary part is people like me, lifelong Hog fan, UA alum, are no longer disappointed with the status of this program. But we have a flat-out lost interest. I think my 5-year-old and 7-year-old kids care about Razorback football. He said, do you think my 5-year-old and 7-year-old kids care about Razorback football? See the Dallas Cowboys for reference. I mean,
he's got a point.
He's got a great point.
DJ, when I was in that stadium, I like to go to the games because I like to get a feel of what's going on in there. That way these guys can stand back and really, well, you went to the game too, right? But DJ's cutting up film, and he's really doing a lot of film study even during the game. But when I was in there, halftime, you could tell. I mean, honestly, again, I bring it back to the first field goal. Everybody goes, man, we got momentum. Let's be aggressive. It's Notre Dame. Go for a touchdown here. You're on their side of the field. Let's have some confidence in our defense. But we're not there. We don't have that. We're not playing like a winning team. We don't even have the attitude of a winning team, which is what you should do if you're the underdog. At least fake it. At least act like you want to win. We don't have it. So I totally agree with him. He went out and mowed the yard, and here's what everybody else is going to do. Is everybody else is going to go out and mow the yard. We were with some other people earlier, and they said, hey, I'm not watching another game this season. I'm too emotionally involved, and this is too letting me down. Well, guess what? Hunter Yurachek, you're in charge of putting fans in the seats, and your decisions on how we lead the rest of the season and what we do makes or breaks the culture of the Arkansas Razorbacks. It makes or breaks whether or not people are there in the stands, whether or not people care enough to let their emotions get involved. And emotions are football. People are involved in the sport. This is all we have at Arkansas. So we have to take this serious, because when that starts happening, when guys go mow the yard during an Arkansas Razorback game, the program goes down.
And it feels that way. And and the thing about it is, I don't want y'all to get this twisted. It's hard to say positive things right now when things are not going the way that we believe they should be going. The key word there is believe. We believe in this program. We believe in the Hog. We believe in everything that this stadium stands for. That's why we do what we do. We're extremely passionate about it. And so I know sometimes we say some negative things, but we just really do call it how we see it, because we want them to be better. We try to point out areas that we believe this team can improve. And so when it comes to that, I try to avoid this as much as possible. But at the same time, so you have to call a spade a spade. We're in a bye week.
Yep.
And so most people would say in a bye week, if something were to change, this would be the week to do it. Do you see that trigger being pulled? And I'm not even saying it necessarily Sam Pittman. Obviously, people are going to be having that conversation. Defensive coordinator, I mean, all these things kind of come into play right now.
Well, I think our athletic director has already said in front of a microphone that he's having a money problem, right? So I know that the buyout for Sam Pittman and all this stuff comes into play when we buy it out, if we buy it out, if there's worth it. But you don't want to make a chess move unless you have your next move, set up. So who's going to be the coach if that were to happen? I mean, the only thing that I think that's in reachable grabbing distance is to make Bobby Petrino the head coach. But then there's a whole heck of history that's involved there that we got to talk about.
Some fans are for it. Some fans are not for it.
I understand that, but that might be the most realistic option if you're going to do that, because anybody else that takes on this head coaching job, and let me tell you this, if I was Bobby Petrino's agent, I would tell him to hold off on taking that, because right now he's considered one of the best offensive coordinators in the game. Until Hunter Yurachek can secure money for a head coach to be able to have an NIL budget to work with that can compete in the SEC, Arkansas is a risky job for your resume, and everybody knows that. Any agent that's advising you guys as potential head coaches, coming up head coaches in the nation, you want to take the Arkansas job? Man, you've got a great resume. You might want to wait on a different SEC school to come call your name, because Arkansas right now doesn't have the budget to let you go bring those guys in. Now, is that the same challenge that the current staff is facing? Sure, it is. Obviously, they've went and talked about it on stage. But that's what makes this firing thing, if, coaching change, replacement, you got to have your next chess move.
The implications, too, that I want to make, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, somebody, if there is a coach that is fired mid-season, it opens up a 30-day window for people to transfer. So right now it's all locked down. So if that happens, you could essentially see people just start going here, going there, here, going there. Then you got to think, I got to field the team and finish the year.
So here's the one thing about that is most people already have their roster built.
Yeah,
right?
Where are you going to go?
Right. So where are you going to go? So is there a benefit to opening it up now?
Yeah.
The one thing that you'll say is I've never been a proponent of mid-year firing, because I don't know what does that get you?
Yeah.
Right. Well, I mean, I get that maybe it's for the fans or whoever, if they're calling for someone's head, which, it is what it is, but I don't know that firing a head coach mid-season is going to gain you any more than what it would if you did it at the end of the season. Now, with the transfer portal stuff, all that, maybe that plays into it. If you fired him at the end of the year, now instead of a 30-day window, it's a 60-day window. So you got to think through some of those things if you're in administration. But I've always been a proponent of let the guy finish out the year. What's the worst? I mean, if it's as bad as it's ever going to get right now, okay, well, then let's just let it roll through, fire him later, and then move on, if that's what they decide that they want to do. I don't know. I mean, it seems like it's a catch-22 flip of a coin either way for me.
Got more donations coming in. Real Valpal must have just got a unexpected check. She's really rolling in this morning. I appreciate that. We saw the tape defense needs a full revamp starting at the top. It's been 3 weeks now. We kind of been hitting at this. But then the thing too, Grant, that concerns me the most is that let go of the rope. It's just like the guys You see it all over the tape, and the tape doesn't lie. Another chat coming in right now. This is from Alex Sherrier. Hopefully I'm saying it right. Enjoy the show. Hard to see how we get 4 wins now. Ooh. Not sure that can be done this year to make it any better. Oh, no.
DJ, I think that you look at this season, to go back to your point about what, coaching changes midseason, all that stuff. You look at this season and you ask yourself, what's the right thing to do? What's the standard of the program? What should we do? And you look around and ask yourself, what would LSU do right now? What would Florida do? What would Alabama do? What would Oklahoma do? What would Texas do? I think if they're in this situation, we probably all kind of know the answer to those questions because we've seen them come up in situations like that before. So again, I don't have the answer of who's going to come in and would be able to be a replacement. But what I do know is that continuing the same trajectory that we're on just continues to establish and almost lay concrete on who we are as a program to all the future recruits of the University of Arkansas. I think there's 2 things that we have to focus on. The brand of the University of Arkansas Razorback. What is it for the recruit's sake? Because guys like us, we have a whole different perception. This is affecting the future of Arkansas Razorback football, no matter who the coach is. We have to change that. We talked about this pregame show, building a fence around the state, building a brand of college football that kids want to go play for in the university in Arkansas that then gets more NIL money from the state of Arkansas. We talked about some of the recruiting issues that we face. I think that that's a huge step forward for us. That has to be, we have to rethink the way that we're running this program. And I think that for forever in the past, the athletic department's main goal for NCAA compliance issues was to make sure players don't get paid. And now they're asked to make sure that they're advocates and helping them make the most money. Yet they have no experience in that.
Well, I want to still focus on.
It's a different shift.
You're talking big shift right now. We're talking right now. All right, let's stick here in today.
I think that if you cannot make a decision on right now without having a future goal set of what you want to be.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah. Grant.
Yeah, when I said let go of the rope, maybe it wasn't from the play, but you could just see it in people's faces coming off the field.
Players,
their faces. Yeah, go throw a pick. Taylor throws the pick late in the end of the game, and the whole offensive line is just kind of like doing the big man trot. Just kind of walking but looking like a jog, heads down. It just felt like deflated.
Yeah.
There was just not much to go play for in this game. You can't, as a coaching staff, regardless of what happens this week or next week or at the end of the year or whatever. As a coaching staff, you've got to go try to reinflate that ball. The air got taken out of the ball. You got to go try to reinflate it, and you've got to get them to buy in on something. Now, we've lost 3 games. Granted, the next, 7 games that we have on our schedule,
don't get any easier.
They don't look easier.
No.
Right? But you've lost 3 games. And I'm not going to be the rainbow pump like, hey, it's still all out there. Let's go get it. Because
I'll give it a pass.
But at the end of the day, you've lost 3 games. Granted, it doesn't look great from who you got coming. You got Tennessee after a bye week. They're putting up a tremendous amount of points.
Texas A&M.
You got Texas A&M just beat Notre Dame at Notre Dame. There's a lot of things out there that look grim, right?
Yeah.
But go keep playing. You lost 3 games. Okay, you've got to go keep playing the games. And I know that sounds funny to hear, but what else you got?
I think you're right.
What else do you got? Right?
We've been in games that we should have won. The team can win games. It's just putting it together week over week over week that seems to be the issue, and that seems to be the challenge that we're facing. And again, I want to say it for myself that I like these coaches personally. I like our staff personally. I don't want people to take off on this and say, oh man, 4th and 5 is just being negative and calling for everybody's jobs. It's not the case. I want everybody to succeed that's currently in this program. So got a little hot earlier, but it's the reality. And I also want to be real about the accountability of the program. But yes, you're right. Don't give up on this season. We have to continue to play.
Hey, we're going to go play the games regardless. You might as well let it all hang out. Right. We really got nothing to lose at this point.
Former Razorback tackle, offensive line tackle DeMarcus Love says we need athletes. We got a super chat here from Alex Shirley, who's in attendance. In the break form, tackling and moving the ball. In break form, tackling and moving the ball. What you trying to say? Oh, yeah. Yeah, it is. We saw that in the hole with Xavier and Sori just being very, very uncharacteristic.
They leave their feet a lot.
It's coachable, too. Yeah. It is coachable. Now you have to get it done. DeMarcus Love did bring up that point. We need athletes. We went and spent money. That's all we talked about. Hey,
Yeah.
and you saw the press conferences. Coach is saying, we went into the portal and we spent some money. DBs and offensive line. Showing okay on offensive line. Secondary, talent evaluation has me a little concerned.
Right.
When you said we need athletes, I just don't see guys out there moving forward with what we have to face here in the near future, it being something that's going to be fun to watch as a Razorback fan.
I think we did go spend money, DJ, but what happened first was that we got relieved of a lot of our financial commitments because other teams paid some of our players more, took away from our roster, and then we had to go rebuild.
Yep.
Now, was that a decision to let some of those guys go? I don't know. I'm not in the room, but all I do know is that we had an exodus of some top players that are now performing at other schools. And even regardless of what they did last season, did you get better from freshman to sophomore year?
Yes.
I mean, staying with a program helps.
Yes.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that's what you want to see with these guys, but you got to have the budget. We're living in the NIL world and we have to have money. That's why I keep coming back to money.
You bring up an interesting point because in some of these situations, yes, I see the money, but I am kind of surprised when some of our guys that seem to like what's going on here, it's just like they couldn't wait to leave here. And I'll say this based off the tape, I don't think they're going places grabbing money like you think they are. It's just, I feel like some of them see what is kind of going on. I've even had a couple conversations with some people when it talks about the culture in the locker room, what the things look like moving forward. They look at it as like, I don't know if I want to be a part of this. I want to be a part of something that's moving in the direction of winning. And I think that had a lot to do with the people leaving. See y'all. Thank y'all. See you Monday.
I'll give you that.
Which is a big thing too. So I know a lot of people are just kind of making money, but we had guys who were thriving here that it would make sense for them to be here because their names were popular. We can just go down the list. What do we have? It's been started way back, even with Jalen Catalong. He was a team captain. He's still playing football. I didn't even know that.
Right.
Yeah, that's insane. KJ Jefferson deciding to leave. He was the leader in the face of Razorback football, and he hops in the portal to stay in another year. Luke has Patrick Kudus. He was supposed to be the Coach Pittman's favorite player on the offensive line. You had Isaiah Satania, who's balling out at OU from Fayetteville, right up the street. You also had Brad Spence, now at Texas, who was a big and improving linebacker. Would be great to have right now.
Right.
Also on the Metcalf, both of them. I mean, we could just go down the list of people that we thought were going to be big-time players here that the fans got behind, but there was something going on that made them, I got to get out of here. And they were team captains too. Concerning culture issue going on here at the University of Arkansas. Skimming through a few of these. We've been up a while. Thank y'all for being a part of the chat. So this is what we're going to do. We got the lineup, y'all. Oh, let me take that down. Oh, easy. This is why I got to read this. Hey, who's that?
Please bring Coach Nut
Frank
back.
the Dank.
Frank the Dank. Let me talk to you, Frank. All right. Can you tighten up a little bit with the language? Huh? Because I would love to put the comments up on the screen. I can't do it, Frank the Dank. I get you emotional. All right. We still got to tighten up. All right. Speaking of tightening up, we got to do our part this week. So 4th and 5, we got you covered. When it comes to breakdown, real quick, is there any kind of a snippet you think you want to focus on moving forward to your breakdown come Tuesday on the offensive line?
Yeah, I mean, I think lack of run game. I think we had spurts where we did really well, but we knew we had to establish the run, also to help the defense. And we actually had a little our text group going during the game. Matt said, "Hey, I love this drive. We were running the ball, having really good success on maybe the drive going into halftime. Given the defensive blow, we didn't sustain running the ball." And then penalties, man. We had penalties on both sides of the ball. A lot on the offensive line. And that kills you. I mean, when you've got the momentum kind of going against you, you can't hurt yourself. First drive of the game, I think it was the first drive of the game. Phillip Lee comes through, gets a good hit on the quarterback. I'm going to say he pushed him in the shoulder, but it looked like he hit him in the neck. I'm watching on the Jumbotron or whatever, but those things they were going to go kick a field goal. Yeah. That was a sack, and they're going to have to kick a field goal, match us with a field goal. We get the ball back, have every opportunity to go down and score a touchdown, keep the drive alive, go down and score a touchdown. Now we're playing from behind. And so, we'll look at it. I mean, we're going to break the film down tomorrow night and take a look and
there's a lot
jump into it.
There's a lot
Hold on, real quick. I want to give a shout
rhythm.
out. Frank, I appreciate that. He says, man, I'm mad. And he went in and he removed the comment. I get it. I appreciate that, Frank. Thanks for hanging out with us for sure. Keep the comments coming in. Now, Josh, you have usually the scouting report. Now it's bye week. There's no telling What are you going to be scouting for this week? Don't you say it.
I'm gonna start scouting for new players.
Okay.
That's what I'm gonna
Yeah.
do. I'm gonna start putting together a 2026 NIL list. Is what I'm gonna start putting together.
Jeez. Okay. All right. So that'll be Friday. Yeah. I'll let you free reign, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I'll
It'll be
come
fun.
up with something. DJ, right now I can't even think straight after we got beat that bad. It's ridiculous.
Tough. Matt's going to have your defensive breakdown. That'll be Thursday. And I think it's starting to be what the unfortunate thing with Matt's breakdown. It's the same thing each and every week.
Yeah,
That's a big problem. He's doing a great job, but it's just the same
Beating the dead
issues
horse.
week in and week out. I got another super chat coming in. I will really appreciate it. Russ, thanks for the support. He comes in. He says it starts. Where does it start? Sorry, can't read that. It starts at the top. Here's whether true or not. The coaches are not fired up. Defense just can't keep up. They look confused, unmotivated. It is sad. I couldn't agree with you, Russ. That was spot on. Another one coming from Hunter with the super chat. Appreciate it. We need that Gruden fire under us. I mean, I've seen Gruden's name in the chat pop up a lot
because he's made some comments about wanting to get back into coaching, and he's got a personality that everybody like to play for. I get it. He's kind of got that same type of Houston nut, effect to programs because he can talk and he can inspire. I get it. I do want somebody like that though.
This is from. You may have to help me with the name here. This is Tomaska.
Yeah,
BT.
Tomaska.
DJ Grant went to school with you, both of you. During our time, Bob Petrino was the glaringly different than what you see right now. I mean, I think I can't argue with that at all. All right, y'all, we're going to go ahead and wrap this up. Monday night, that's where we're going to have our first initial breakdown, our quick thoughts after we watch a little bit more tape. Going to be live at the Mainline Sports Bar in Hot Springs at Oaklawn. And the thing about it is it's bye week, isn't it?
Just bye week.
I may have a week off. No, I won't. I'll figure it out. I'll be somewhere Monday night. All right. It's going to be at Oaklawn. It's going to be the Mainline Sports Bar. It's going to be at the Silks Bar, one of the two, both inside the Oaklawn Resort. I'll make sure I'll hop on social media and let you know exactly where that is. A lot of breakdowns. We got to go back and watch the tape. It's not going to be fun. Also going to be previewing Monday Night Football as well. So we got a big week ahead of us. It is the bye week, and so we'll make sure that we give you all the information that you need. Gives us an opportunity to get into it a little bit more. Somebody's saying I'm missing something. I don't think so. I think I got them all. Hunter O'Neill. Yep, think we're good, y'all. All right, we're going to go and wrap this up. Grant, you good?
I'm good, man.
Josh, you good?
I'm
going to be all right?
I'm taking a vacation, literally. I'm gone.
Oh, you are gone. Where are you going again?
Switzerland. Catch me in the Swiss Alps, baby.
Josh is getting out of here.
I got the breakdown this week.
No,
All right, fair
I'll
enough.
get you a breakdown.